Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gundam News. And the big news for this week were the two trailers that dropped for two upcoming Gundam movies. And sufficient to say, the reaction to these trailers couldn't have been any more different. So let's immediately get the least well-received trailer out of the way first. The reveal trailer for Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom, which at the moment of recording has more dislikes than likes. So even before I started watching, I was like, damn, what's going on here? What are they gonna show in this trailer that is so bad that it has a higher dislike ratio than like ratio, which is, I don't think something that has ever really happened in Gundam. So yeah, but literally all that it was just the title of the series, Gundam Silver Phantom, followed by the logo of Meta Quest. And based on the comments on this trailer, I do think there is a bit of a misunderstanding going on here. I saw quite some comments of people who thought that this was either going to be some kind of full-blown VR game, or that it is in some way connected to the Gundam metaverse. And, well, with a name like the Meta Quest, I can see why people would jump to that conclusion. But the Meta Quest is a VR headset that is in no way connected to the Gundam metaverse. So at the moment, I do feel like the negative reaction is a bit overblown because there's just nothing here to really form an opinion about. The only things we know is the name, again, Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom. It's going to be a virtual reality interactive film, which is something I can't really speak on because I don't have a virtual reality headset, so I haven't watched any VR interactive movies. And it will be produced by the French studio Atlas V or Atlas 5 and distributed by Estrella. And after a quick look at what other virtual reality interactive movies Atlas V has made, the Steam reviews are mostly very positive, with the one exception being Battlescar Punk Was Invented by Girls, which has a mixed review score. So for now, at least for the people who have a MetaQuest headset, I would say things are looking rather good. But of course, we will have to wait until we see the actual art style of the movie and what quality the animations are. Those are really the things, in my opinion, that are going to make or break this project. And if you want to check out the trailer, I'll have it linked down below. The second trailer then was the fourth Gundam Seed Freedom trailer, and boy was it a blast! It didn't tell us a whole lot more in terms of story, but it did give us some kick-ass action scenes set to an equally awesome song by Takanori Nishikawa. And it also showed us Lacus in an apron, so I wonder if that is going to be somehow relevant to the story because they did decide to put it into the trailer, or maybe it is just a bit of fan service they decided to put in there. But what is definitely going to be relevant is the ending to the trailer. Kira says that he cannot see an end to this war, and that the only thing that he can do is ... Now, I would assume that the sentence that he initially wanted to say is that the only thing that he can do is to keep on fighting along with his friends. But as he was formulating the sentence, that was his moment of realization that he has to do something more drastic to put an end to all of this. And this then could be that action that I've speculated about in previous videos that puts him at odds with the rest of the Archangel crew. And alongside the trailer, we also got a short summary of the story and a diagram of how the different factions relate to each other. And this does tell us a lot more about the story than the trailer does. It is Cosmic Era 75 and the fighting is still going on. And it seems that the fighting is also still being spearheaded by Blue Cosmos. So, in response to this, the World Peace Monitoring Organization Compass is established by Orb, Zaft, and the Atlantic Federation. And what I find especially interesting here is that the arrow specifically comes from the Atlantic Federation and not the Earth Alliance as a whole. Instead, we get a different arrow departing from the Eurasian Federation. The Emerging Countries Federation has declared their independence from them and asked Compass for help against Blue Cosmos. And of that foundation, Aura Maha Kyber is the queen, and the Black Knights are her royal guard. So I guess the main story is going to revolve around that foundation, trying to get their independence from the Eurasian Federation with the help of Kira and friends. But of course, Blue Cosmos is absolutely not going to stand for this, especially not now that they've asked for help from coordinators. So I gotta say, the more information I get about the story of the movie, the more excited I'm getting for it. Also, the voice actor for Griffin Arbalest has been confirmed as Win Morisaki, who you might know as the lead singer for Prismax or Daito from Ready Player One. And for more Gundam Seed news, we go to the life-sized moving Gundam, which will be getting a new show called Gundam Factory Yokohama Illumination 2023 featuring Gundam Seed series. It'll last from December the 1st until January the 31st, and the song list of the Gundam will now include Invoke and Ignited from TM Revolution, and Find a Way from Mika Nakashima. And during this time, you'll also be able to get a latte at the Gundam Cafe with Gundam Seed Freedom art. In December, you can choose between the Eternal Freedom or Immortal Justice, and in January, between Kira or Lacus. And you'll also get a promotional coaster along with your purchase. Or you can get this Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny Kado Chara collection, consisting of 9 characters: Kira, Atheron, Lacus, Kigali, Izak, Diarca, Nickel, Shin, and Rei. And they're all positioned so that they look like they're either sitting on a corner or hanging from it, which is also where the name of the series comes from. Kado meaning corner in Japanese. This set is a regular release, but if you get it through P Bandai, a Commander version of Izak will also be included. As for the things you could do in the West then, from today until December the 10th, the Gundam Fan E-Festival 2023 will be held, which I'll of course have linked down below. And here are some of the activities that they've already announced. There's a promotional video made with fan-submitted Gunpla pictures, a Gundam news stream which will include results of the American Gunpla Builders World Championship, and special appearances by Gundam film producers. There's the Gundam Theater, where they'll be showing 2 fan-favorite series, being Turn A Gundam and the Reconquista NG compilation movies, and a Gundam-built Metaverse watch party, to which we're all invited.
I hope you'll be able to make it to the party. But why?
Watching it once was more than enough. Also, it really warmed my heart to see Gundam X getting the 2nd place. The most impressive thing then is the Hagda Moving Gundam on December the 3rd, which will somehow involve us controlling the life-sized moving Gundam of the Gundam Factory Yokohama, and they'll also be giving out prizes. Now, it is only accessible from the United States, but with the power of Nord, I'll at least be able to attend, even if I can't get any of the prizes. And if you also need some of those pesky region logs dodged, you can get NordVPN with the link down below or the code kkrt. Not only will you be getting a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. And then last but not least, there will of course also be a bunch of limited edition Gunpla up for sale. Over 200 in fact. Meanwhile, on the figure front, things haven't died down yet. We got a lot last week, and there is still more to come this week. First up, continuing from last week, I saw another picture of the SH Figuarts Guel figure, which has his short hair, and the metal built GN Arms Type D option set went up for pre-order on Japanese P Bandai last week, Friday. And another P Bandai exclusive is the Mobile Suit Ensemble X49 High Mobility Type Psycho Zaku Gundam Thunderbolt version. It comes fully featured with its humongous backpack, beam bazooka, 3 giant bazookas, 2 Zaku machine guns, 4 spare magazines, 3 Sturmfausts, 2 Heat Hawks, and a giant base to put all of this stuff on. But before you rush out to buy this thing, its price tag is equally massive. 9,130 yen or 61 US for a 6.5 centimeters tall figure, which is just over 2.5 inches. But if you do decide to go for it, it is slated for a May release. Slightly bigger than, and significantly cheaper, is this special lineup of mobility joined Gundam figures featuring the main mobile suits of Amuro Ray and Char Aznable, this time with different markings from their previously released versions. Each set goes for 715 yen each, around 5 US, and there are a total of 8 sets to collect. The RX-78-2, Char Zaku 2, the new Gundam, the Sazabi, a weapon set for the RX-78-2 consisting of 2 bazookas, a beam saber, a beam javelin, and beam rifle, an option set for Char's Zaku 2 consisting of the anti-ship rifle, Zaku machine gun, Heat Hawk, spare magazines, and parts to turn it into the high mobility version. Then there's an option set for the new Gundam to turn it into the new Gundam HWS, and an option set with parts for the Sazabi and the new Gundam, consisting of a beam rifle, big shield, beam tomahawk, beam sabers, new hyper bazooka, and fin funnels. This is a regular release, and it is slated for an April release. And sticking with the SDs, we got the most adorable Zeta Gundam that I've ever seen. The Jumbo Soft Vinyl SD Zeta Gundam. This cute boy goes for 16,500 yen, 111 US, is slated for an April release, and comes with some limited articulation and accessories. It's got a shield, beam rifle, and beam saber, and just like the previous figures of this lineup, it is a regular release, but if you get it through P Bandai, you will also get a limited edition nameplate for the thing. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost On has been added to the PlayStation Plus game catalog. There is a big sale for Bandai games going on the PlayStation and the Switch. Super Robot Wars DD will get a big news update tomorrow. Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation is celebrating Black Friday with a special token pack and login bonuses. And we also got some cool updates. In terms of playable mobile suits, the fancy Rosen Zulu has joined the fray, and there's also a new game mode called Situation Battle. The main goal of this mode is to replicate important battles from the anime, so instead of launching in your own mobile suit, you get assigned one of the predetermined mobile suits for that specific scenario. In the main graphic, they're showing off the Battle of Jabro, so I wonder what other major battles are going to be included in this if the mode proves to be popular. And at the same time, the global version of UC Engage is celebrating 1 million downloads with 1,000 grand coins and 5,000 diamonds. And on top of that, the UR G3 Gundam and UR Amuro Ray have become available, as well as the second part of Pesce Montaña's prologue. Completing the event will get you an SR Jim and an SR Pesce. And in other news, Gundam is planning to go to the moon. Quite literally. As part of the Gundam Open Innovation Initiative, Gundam is working together with iSpace for a moon mission. And during this moon mission, a plate that is shaped like the Universal Century Charter will be dropped on the moon, and it will have various fan messages on it. This mission is expected to take place sometime in 2024. Some more down-to-earth news then is that we got the designs for the Witch from Mercury Blu-ray collection box. The Mobile Suit Girl of the Week is the rear of the Musha Gundam, who has a shield that can transform into a bird, and the winners of this year's Japanese Gunpla Builders World Cup have been announced. In the under 14 category, the first prize went to Camille into Space. In the under 20 category, Valiant took home the trophy. And in the over 21 category, Rigging Equipment got the golden medal. And this is definitely one of the most powered up J-Guns that I've seen so far. And in sports then, the Gundam sponsored Formula 1 car unfortunately didn't quite perform like its animated counterpart. Yuki Tsunoda qualified last, and despite performing better during the race, was forced to retire in the final laps due to mechanical problems. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 17th, 4,800 yen, which is around 30 US, would get you the Sigumi Pro Unicorn Gundam, which is like a papercraft model kit thing that gets you a very interesting looking and fixed pose unicorn. Next up on Tuesday, the 5th lineup of G-Frame Full Armor was released, featuring the Calibarn, Master Gundam, Goof, and Gundam Mark II AUG version. Each figure consists of 2 sets, an armor set and a frame set, which also has some extra accessories, each of which going for 748 yen, 5 US, and they also come with a soda-flavored piece of chewing gum. Wednesday, the 3rd volume of Witch from Mercury's 2nd season went up for sale in a variety of DVD and Blu-ray sets, and 2 eco bags became available as prizes in Namco arcades. One featuring the life-size Unicorn Gundam statue, and the other featuring a bunch of Horos. And then today, the 1/144 scale soft vinyl Santa and Snowman balloons from Gundam 0080 were released at the Gundam base for 1,650 yen each, 11 US. For this week's reading material then, it was announced that on November the 29th, a new book talking about Yoshikazu Yasuhiko's manga will be released. It's kind of like a history book that starts with his mythological and history manga, like his manga on Jesus, Jeanne d'Arc, and World War II Japan, and then goes to the future with Venus Wars and Mobile Suit Gundam. It's always crazy to be reminded of how many different stories this man has tackled. And it's also crazy to think about the fact that there is a very good chance that someone's first exposure to him was through his manga about Jesus, which is also just called Jesus. On to this week's Gundam apparel then, all of which is linked down below, as well as a guide on how to buy them. And as usual, Strict G kicked things off on Friday. They had another lineup featuring these amazing Japanese art-inspired Gundam designs. This time they're on hoodies for 15,400 yen a pop, 103 US, and the available designs are the RX-78-2, Char's Zaku 2, and the Goof. And the other released lineup was the 2023 Fall-Winter Goods Collection, featuring Char's emblem, Amro's emblem, or the Viz Foundation's emblem on a variety of quilted apparel. A muffler for 6,980 yen, 47 US, a bucket hat for 5,830 yen, 39 US, and a shoulder bag for 9,680 yen, 65 US. And then for a January release, there's a Gundam Seed Freedom shirt for 5,270 yen, 35 US, and an acrylic stand for 1,650 yen, 11 US. Meanwhile, over at Bankore, we got ever so slightly more. Also starting on Friday, they released some Zaft uniform-inspired windbreakers for 14,850 yen, 100 US, meaning that in February, you can get a Zaft Redcoat jacket or Commander jacket. And on the same day, pre-orders also went live for 2 more Witch from Mercury dialogue acrylic stands. For 2,200 yen a pop, 15 US, there is Guel and Elan, both from episode 24 and both slated for a January release. And all of the next Bankore items are also slated for a January release. I think like about 2 weeks ago, we talked about Haro-styled laundry nets being the OG green and 00 orange, and on Monday, pre-orders went live for Gundam Seed Pink. For 2,420 yen, 16 US. And also on Monday, you could pre-order acrylic stands of some of Zeta Gundam's main cast. They're available in 2 sizes, standard and big, going for 1,320 yen, 9 US, and 2,750 yen, 18 US respectively. And the available characters are Camille Bidon, Emma-Sheen, Fa Yuri, Reku Alond, Jared Mesa, Yazan Gobble, Paptimus Shirako, and 4 Murasame. And then finally on Wednesday, they released 2 character-specific collections, Heine Westenfuss and Kagali Yula Atha, each coming with 2 different designs. For Heine, the main design is his name over his signature goof Ignited, which is available on a hoodie for 8,580 yen, 58 US, a clear case for 1,100 yen, 7 US, a bag for 4,400 yen, 30 US, a hard case for 3,685 yen, 25 US, a face towel for 1,980 yen, 13 US, and an acrylic keychain for 770 yen, 5 US. And his second design is his name over his face, which you can get on a towel or acrylic keychain. For Kagali then, the main design has her name behind the V-fin of the Akatsuki Gundam, being the Gundam she piloted for 5 seconds, got wrecked, and then gave it to Mulaflaga. So while it was made specifically for her, I would say that the striped ruche is perhaps more iconic for her. But regardless, you can get this design on a white t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 30 US, a tote bag for 2,750 yen, 18 US, a bath towel for 4,400 yen, 30 US, a mug for 2,530 yen, 17 US, and an acrylic stand for 1,980 yen, 13 US. And the second design then is her name with the flower of her personal emblem, the ring she got from Atheron, and the amulet of Haumea that she gave to Atheron. And you can get this on a black t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 30 US, a face towel for 2,200 yen, 15 US, and an acrylic stand for 1,980 yen, 13 US. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. The 23rd of November is Labor Appreciation Day in Japan, so a few weeks ago, Gundam.info asked us which character from Gundam Seed we wanted to appreciate the most for all of their work. And the results for every place were very decisive, with an overwhelming 54.1% Maru Ramius took home the victory. Because of course. She's one of the most popular characters, not just from Gundam Seed, but in all of Gundam, for reasons. And her competition wasn't exactly the strongest in this poll. Like, maybe if they'd instead included Lacus or Kira, 2 characters who also did a lot of work, I think we could have gotten much closer results. But alas, in a distant second place, we have Natarl with 25.5%. In an even more distant third place, we have Murdoch with 16.6%. And then in last place, which is so distant you can't even see her anymore, we have Erica Simmons with a meager 3.8%. talk about a crushing defeat. As for the currently ongoing one then, with the re-release of the G Gundam Blu-ray box, Gundam.info wants to know which mobile fighter from the Devil Gundam Corps is our favorite. The Devil Gundam, also known as the Dark Gundam, the Gundam Heaven Sword, also known as the Soaring Raven Gundam, the Grand Gundam, or the Walter Gundam. And just as with the previous Gundam seat poll, the winner here is already quite clear and with quite the margin. Both the main website version of the poll and the Twitter version of the poll are in complete agreement. With over half of the votes, the Devil Gundam is in a very comfortable lead, and it doesn't look like the Gundam Heaven Sword will be able to overtake it. And it itself is also quite secure, with the Grand Gundam and the Walter Gundam lagging significantly behind. But their standings can still change, so if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have them linked down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.